Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for mid-August 2023. We're just going to jump right in here. You have this peace card and this dystopia card. How scary is that? We're gonna look into this here, Taurus. So I feel for some of you, it looks to me like you are trying to find peace, in your healing from maybe something that was not ideal. So a lot of you could be going through a healing. I also have the word loss popping into my head, but I know obviously if you went through a breakup, that would be a loss, but I'm getting some other type of loss here. Could have been the loss of a loved one or, something like that. So, it looks to me like you are going through this period of healing. It is also interesting how, I feel for some of you, a loss could actually be bringing you peace, and here you go. You have the 10 of Wands. This type of energy reminds me of sometimes maybe you have a job and you don't love the job, but it's a job, but you also don't want to be there. And then you lose it and you need a job. But at the same time, it could be bringing you peace because, if that has happened to you, because it's removed something that is not fulfilling from your life. And I definitely feel that, something that was not fulfilling or is not fulfilling has been removed from your life here. I'm just looking at these cards. They are really nice. So, what I would say is that if you have experienced that, it looks to me like you're finding peace in your life or moving on to something better. I really, as always, I know I say this to you every single reading, Taurus, right? So roll your eyes with me, right? But what I would say is with the Five of Pentacles, I would do whatever you can to work on blockages. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. This guy right here, he represents a leper. He has a bell around his neck. The bell represents him calling attention to his weaknesses. So I really feel it's time for you to kind of call attention to your strengths. Make sure you're focusing on the things you're good at and not the things you're bad at. I would also make sure that you are focusing on the things that you can change, going down to the Temperance card. Again, I think that, us humans, we're really good at focusing on, the things from the past that we have no control over, that we can't change. And those are the things that, take up a lot of brain space. And this reading to me is saying that you need to kind of free yourself from this, that brain space, from your brain space being stolen by, things that you just can't control. And, this guy here, he is hoping and praying for certain blessings right here. And, there's a person blessing another person in this stained glass window. So it's I feel like you're hoping and praying for blessings. I do feel it's kind of time to get up, though, and get moving. We go Four of Swords to the Eight of Cups. He's walking away from things that no longer serve him. And so I definitely feel, I definitely feel that. I feel that you're even, I'm just noticing this. This card says like with like, it's like attracts like, and I feel that energy in your reading big time where it's you are going to attract exactly, how you feel, the story you're telling yourself, as I always say to you, and all that other stuff. You have the King of Cups here. If you want love, I wouldn't really necessarily say this is a 100% love reading, but there is definitely divine counterparts here. Could be a water sign or an earth sign, could be any sign. This is a general reading, but you also have divine counterparts right here. High Priestess and the Hierophant. I actually think High Priestess and Hierophant are better than the Emperor and the Empress together. So, it's even better than that energy is what I'm saying. And so if you have a person coming in, definitely could be a divinely guided connection here. Fire also stands out to me. Water, earth, and fire. So let's see where this is going for you here. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups. A lot of stuff from the past, right? I think this set of retrogrades, Venus, we're going to have Mercury going retrograde as well. I really feel for whatever reason, it could be triggering a lot of these things from the past, all the what ifs, everybody's had something about it. And, what I mean by what ifs, it's what if I did this differently? If you went through a breakup or, if you lost your job, you could be kind of saying, what if I, did something else instead or did something differently so I didn't lose a job? But I would be careful. I think that is the loop that this reading is trying to get you to get out of or to avoid at all costs. The what if loop of what if I made this change or that change, instead of thinking what you can do now, right? I feel like this reading is saying, yeah, that's great, but what can you do now to create a turnaround? With the Four of Swords, you have the High Priestess. Definitely time to trust your intuition. I mean, High Priestess twice here. The High Priestess has been coming up like crazy. I mean, it's everybody's reading, and multiple people have had it multiple times in their readings. So we're clearly in a very intuitive time. The other thing I would say about the High Priestess is that I'm going to show you here because it's just easier to see on this one. She has these 3 levels to her crown, and there are 3 stages of the moon, and it kind of represents the fact that she sees how she wants her life to go before it happens, but she uses her powers of visualization to visualize, like she uses visualization to manifest her reality. So make sure to see in your head how you want things to go. With the King of Cups, you have the World. Some of you could be moving. If you don't know, I have certain cards in the tarot that I call clue cards. The King of Cups, to me, can be a clue for the home. To me, he can represent, like, moving, or he can represent the feelings of the home as well, like, safety, security, comfort, protection, feeling happy, all these other things. So, I really feel for a lot of you that this is saying you need to make sure to focus on the good stuff with this energy, for sure. Next, you have in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have the Soul Tribe card. It says you're attracting your soul tribe who will support you. There you go. Could be a bunch of people, for sure. You have the 9 of Cups, which is like total fulfillment, which you can get from a lot of people, right? You have this odd job card. It says, consider creating multiple streams of income. Second job, odd job. Freedom is more important than your financial security. Again, I feel that we are, I know I've said this to you because the reason stuff like this comes up in every single reading is because Uranus and Taurus mostly, but also Jupiter and Taurus now. Uranus and Taurus wants us to be free. That's like one of the things that it wants us to focus on. And it wants us to be free in the sense that we are enjoying things that we value. Taurus has a lot to do with valuable things. And, it's like, for example, if you're only working and you don't value it, you're going to have an extra hard time right now. And you probably have been, if that is you. And again, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to like quit that job or anything like that, but it does mean that we have to put more energy into things that we value. Also, I just feel in the future, I've said this since like 2016, that a lot of people will probably have side hustles in the future. Uranus and Taurus will bring about new technologies, or, it's not necessarily about technology, but with, I add everything up in astrology, that plus Pluto going into Aquarius officially at the end of November 2024, right? Even though it's already been in there, as far as I'm concerned, might as well already be there. There's going to be a lot of new technologies, but these technologies are going to be, things that probably set us free because of Uranus and Taurus. So we could see, new opportunities like Uber and things like that, but new ones, like different things that, I don't know, I'm not, obviously I'm here on YouTube, right? I haven't created one yet. So, if I did, I'd be like a billionaire somewhere, right? Hiding, probably. So what I would say here is that, I don't know what it's going to look like, but there might be opportunities to, where, you could walk people's dogs or something like that. That already exists, but you catch my drift. You have the Queen of Cups here. Yeah, as always, you get the Queen of Cups every single reading I do for you. So, definitely time to follow your heart, follow your intuition, listen to your inner voice, your inner feelings. That's going to be very important for you here, Taurus. You have the 8 of Cups here. Something is being removed from your life. I feel like this is something that just, was going to cause a lot of problems. I also love that you go from the 8 of Cups to the 9 of Cups. It's like confirmation from the universe that you are moving towards fulfillment. But the 8 of Cups is the only card in the tarot with an eclipse on it. You can see it right here. And we have the final set of eclipses here for this Taurus-Scorpio cycle will be in October. So, I kind of feel that this eclipse time has taught you to be more flexible. Maybe you've had to think on your feet more during this time, since like last year. And, now this, the end of the cycle, I feel, is saying that you've kind of like completed the tasks, is the word I'm hearing. And I feel this is, whatever this is going to, could be increasing your income with the Queen of Pentacles, could be making you more resourceful, or you've learned how to increase your resources in some way. You have the 10 of Wands here. And again, I feel that for a lot of you, you've removed some things that have caused, that have been a heavy burden. The 10 of Wands, he is carrying this heavy burden. This is a harvest, and he's bringing it to his home back here. But, to me, the 10 of Wands is a good thing because he planted those seeds. He wanted this to grow. He wanted to have this harvest. So, again, he's about to have a harvest. It's also interesting that you go up to the 9 of Pentacles here, the Knight of Pentacles, sorry. And the Knight of Pentacles, he has these empty fields behind him. So it's kind of like some of you could be finishing one project or one thing, and it's like you're getting ready to start something new. I feel like whatever this is like longer lasting or is less of a burden, right? It's almost like everybody has been, over like the last 10 years, has been working on things like projects, could be your health, could be your business, could be your relationships, whatever. It's like the last 10 years, everybody's been working on things that have been like extra work, like have been really hard. And now I feel like we're getting to this funnel point, as I always talk about, where I think, like 2024, 2025, like entering into these years, right? And, especially after 2027, but we should start now. We are building things that last. We're building things that are built on a solid foundation. We're building things that might require a little bit more effort, but also the effort is worth it. It's like if you build something, at this time, it's kind of hard to describe, but, it's like you're building something that is not fly by night. You're, whether it's love, business, or whatever, I think that's what you're focusing on for years to come. Like you're focusing on building things that last. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Emperor. Here you go. Definitely could be love coming in for you. And if the Empress shows up, I'm going to faint. But, going this way could be like something you wish for. I was getting fire at the beginning of the reading, so, it wouldn't really surprise me if it was a fire sign. It wouldn't really surprise me also if you were attracting someone with a lot of fire in their chart. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles here. Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard. Two of Pentacles is also kind of spinning plates, and you have a lot of overcomplication energy here. I'm about halfway through these readings this week, or for the mid-monthlies. And, just weird to me. Sometimes I know, like, trust me, it's more of a benefit for the way that I read, at least, for you to be later in the readings. Because I kind of, like, see all, like, I start with the water signs usually. Sometimes I go in reverse, but, and then I kind of, like, see the energy as I go through. And it just seems to me like, again, there's this energy of simplification maybe, or where, pretty much everyone has been getting something about making things too complicated and really needing to break things down and walk away from things that, cause you to be on a hamster wheel, that cause you to spin plates, and, focus more on simplification and making things easier and not necessarily less work. Again, it's like I've talked to a lot of people, and I think about this stuff all the time, how people are always like, well, I want to make more money, and they jump to working harder, right? They think, I have to work harder. But there are like plenty of people that do nothing that make a lot of money. So, it's like I think that all your readings for like the past 2 months with me, Taurus, have really been about working on your mind, the mindset shifts, the ideas. Same thing in relationships as well. It's like maybe, I think sometimes we think that relationships are supposed to be a certain way until we meet a person or until we see a situation. Maybe in public, you see two people who interact with each other in a different way. And it's like, until you have that aha moment, you have no freaking clue. And, I feel like this Two of Pentacles is encouraging you to go look for aha moments. I feel like it's like saying, hey, there are these opportunities that exist that would increase your resources. These could be energetic resources, could be financial, whatever. But it's like you have to go see how the other side lives, right? I feel like you have to get out into the world and have experiences so you can actually see this in action. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords here. Ace of Swords is a victory and a win. So I definitely feel that there could be a big win coming in for you, especially if you are focused right here. Going this way. Ace of Swords, I always say, is a laser-like focus. It isn't scattered all over the place. It is like one thing, right? So, again, I would be very, very focused on one thing. If you have Pisces in your chart, by the way, you might want to go watch that Pisces reading, especially if you have a lot of Pisces in your chart. They had something very similar, to this type of energy. So, there you go. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this card that says, move your body. Literally, I feel like you need to get moving here. You have this card. It says, when organizing like with like. Yes, I feel that, your energies are either need to match each other or you need to kind of like match up with two different energies. This is the Manifesting Greatness Oracle, by the way, and I love this deck. But, again, I think that it perfectly describes your energy. It's almost like you just need to, especially with the High Priestess, it's like she really uses visualization. And I feel if you could use your skills or if you could somehow, kind of visualize yourself as something, just being like whatever you want, you will manifest something much faster than you realize. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Temperance card. I do feel there's a lot here, like a major focus on your resources. Again, I don't really think this is a love reading. It's here. It exists. As I always say, love is always available to us if we go and look for it. But, I really feel this is more about resources, but more specifically, resources that make you feel more free, to live your life how you want. That could include love. That could include whatever, right? So I feel for a lot of you that you're being resourceful. I feel you need to take action on any opportunities as well that come your way. You have this odd jobs card, and what did it say? It said, consider creating multiple streams of income. The Queen of Pentacles sometimes I feel reminds me of like having some sort of skill. She would be the card of like having a side job or something like that. But if there's something extra that comes your way, you might want to do it. It could just be extra. It could just be something that helps you out. You have the Nine of Cups here. I literally am just getting the words wish granted. I don't think the Nine of Cups is only a wish card. I know that's how most people read it, which is fine. It is a wish card, but that's an oversimplification of what the Nine of Cups represents. Nine of Cups is a card of bathing in the energy of something you want so that you can attract it. And kind of like matches like I said earlier, whatever I said, I don't remember, but I feel that the more you can bathe in the energy of something you want, the better. And I would do that. But I do feel you're like getting something you wish for. You have the Temperance card here. Temperance, again, there's something about a perspective change here in your reading. So I feel like it's almost like if you could just see that, business doesn't have to be so hard, or relationships or whatever you're working on in your life, that is the thing. Just seeing it another way is going to be the thing that wakes you up to it, right? So I would encourage you to do things. I am getting here, like if you have an opportunity to go out with friends, spend time with people who matter to you. If you have an opportunity to, I have something here about like someone inviting you to something like a conference or something, I would go if that message is for you, because I feel like that is like the place where you are going to see another way to live. And you don't have to live that way, by the way, whatever you see. I just think it's more about expanding your mind. Again, if we live on just an island, right, and we never leave that island, then that is all we know. We never experience anything new. So, I kind of feel like this is about kind of getting into the world, right? And look at it. Queen of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Literally, he has a whole world in his hands. He's living in an island. He is standing at the top of his castle. And the whole point of the Two of Wands is that he's not leaving his castle. He has that whole world in his hands, but he's thinking everything in the world exists in front of me. But he just has to leave the castle. So, boom, everything I just said. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Magician. Major manifestation stuff going on in this reading, if you can't tell. I think it's all about manifesting. I think it's all about making sure to use your powers of manifestation and also changing your mindset. That is going to lead to a lot of success. Normally, the Magician would be kind of like pointing down to the Hierophant as well. The Hierophant being you. So I feel that you could be using your powers of manifestation. The Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. He literally communicates with both sides. He brings things from heaven down to earth. So, a lot of you could be manifesting big time. With the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Pentacles. I really would do, there's like, a million things on YouTube about money blocks and blockages and things like that. Like anything I know I said this to you, I've been saying this to you for like 2 months now, but I would really, really do it, Taurus. Like, don't just sit here and watch me. So, people always say like sometimes, well, not always, but sometimes they're like, you repeat yourself. I'm like, yeah, please go do the things that I say so I can stop repeating myself. It's like, don't shoot the messenger. The universe is basically like, hey, go do this. And then I have to keep repeating myself because people don't. So please, I'm begging you, right. If you want the message to change, go do this. It's free. It doesn't cost any money. I know that's why people don't do it too, because it's not costing you anything to go and do it. So, I don't know, maybe I need to come up with some sort of consequence, right? But what I would say here is like, go and do it, and then the message will stop repeating. So there you go. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this water card. It literally says creation on it, like manifesting. You have this music card. It says joy on it. Anything, again, joy, happiness is probably the best energy for manifesting the things you want in your life. And I also feel you could be focused on, kind of creativity or using your powers of creation to get the things you want in life. And again, that's exactly what I'd be doing if I were you. Look at this. Bottom of the deck, right here, we have the Empress. So I knew that she would probably show up in some way. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Hierophant. Knight of Pentacles is like putting in the work into something and making it happen. I would make sure you're not overcomplicating something. It's like he has everything he needs, you know? He's got these oak leaves on his helmet here, and these represent knowledge and wisdom. But he's not moving and he's not planting seeds in this field. Like the whole point of this card is that he's being too cautious. He's not taking the risk to plant the seeds, and all he needs to do is go plant the seeds in the field and he will be successful. You have the High Priestess. Definitely time to trust your intuition. I think you could be making, this is the area of the good stuff, this last row. But the funny thing is, I think you could be having a lot of intuitive mistakes where, and this is not a bad thing, right? But where you think something, you feel something, and then you don't do it. And then there's like a consequence when you don't take action on your intuition. Like you might have an idea to like go do something or play the lottery or whatever. And I feel like this is saying like, just do those things. Just follow your hunches at this time, because I feel like you will be very successful if you do, obviously. You have the Hierophant as well. Again, I feel like this is you. You're just showing up as yourself, which is great. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Really allows you to get what you want from the reading as well. So let's see here. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Five of Cups. Again, this is the good stuff. So I feel like gratitude, of course, is, the solution to the Five of Cups. But again, showing up in the good stuff. This would say to me that you are being grateful, which is probably attracting, good stuff into your life. So there you go. With the High Priestess, you have the Six of Wands here. Six of Wands, card of success. You do have 2 6s here. I prefer readings where 2 6s are touching, but still 2 6s in a reading to me is kind of like confirmation for your path. It's saying that you're moving in the right direction. You're doing the right things that you need to do. But the Six of Wands is success. With the Hierophant, you have the Tower, again, showing up in the good stuff, so probably a good thing. I feel like with that Dystopia card there, we talked about this, how there was, either some sort of death, transformation, or separation that has happened in your life, and, I think that is the thing that's going to make you very successful. It's like you're moving on to, it's almost like a blessing in disguise, let's put it that way, right? We're pulling 5 main themes now. I'm using a mega deck here, and so you have this card that says mindful. It says group think on it. So I think you need to think for yourself. Again, we have Neptune going into Aries and pretty much in 2026. And my problem with Neptune in Aries is groupthink, is that I think everyone will be looking for a savior. But again, yes, I know that's a few years away. Doesn't matter. It's a big planet and it moves very slowly. But that we're getting closer and closer to that energy. So I think we really need to make sure we're thinking for ourselves. You have the Seven of Cups here. Definitely time to dream and focus. This is the good tarot, and it's meant to be read only positively. But, again, I feel like you need to focus a little bit. And I also feel that there could be a lot of opportunities coming in for you, probably through this right here. You have the Stranger card. It says curiosity on it. It seems to me like we are in a time of curiosity, but really I would say that a better way to put it is to say we're in a time of inspiration. You could have these random ideas that come out of nowhere that you become curious about, and I feel this is saying follow your hunches, like I said, with that High Priestess. You have the Hermit here. Like I said, I feel you need to expand your worldview. It's almost like I see you, I think 2 Wands, very important card in your reading here. It's like saying you're at the top of the castle. You need to get out of the castle, right? And finally, you have this Lower World card here. I feel like this is where you've been, is in the lower world, and now you're kind of like ascending. It is kind of like an ascension reading in a lot of ways. It's like you've gone through the darkness and now you're popping out the other side here, Taurus. So pretty interesting reading. I feel that you really just need to focus on your own inner strength and kind of focusing on, kind of matching the energy of what you want. But I like this. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.